Hi, introduce my new YouTube channel, dedicated to real-time interview questions and answers across the most in-demand fields. I aim to provide quality insights gathered from diverse, reliable sources to help professionals prepare effectively. I hope the content supports all technology enthusiasts and job seekers in their career journeys. Your encouragement and support are highly appreciated. Stay tuned for continuous updates and valuable resources. This session covers Power BI interview questions and answers. Part 1. This will help viewer gain a solid foundation for Power BI interviews. Question number 1. How to handle missing values? In Power BI, missing values can be handled in several ways depending on the context and the data. Remove rows. If the missing values aren't critical, you can remove the rows containing them. Replace with default values. You can replace missing values with a default value, example 0, unknown, etc. Fill missing data. You can use fill down or fill up in Power Query to propagate values from neighboring rows. Interpolate data. For numerical values, you can use calculated columns or DAX to interpolate missing data. Question number 2. Explain the difference between calculated column and measure. Calculated column. It is created at the data model level and adds new data to your data table. Calculated columns are evaluated row by row, and the result is stored in memory. These columns can be used in slices and filters. Measures are dynamic calculations performed at the aggregation level, in real time during report interaction. They are evaluated based on the context, slices, filters, and are not stored in the table. Question number 3. What is DAX and give an example? DAX, Data Analysis Expressions, is a formula language used in Power BI, Excel, and other Microsoft tools for calculating and analyzing data. It allows you to create custom calculations on your data models. Example, total sales equals sum of sales amount. Question number 4. Can we use username and user principal name in static RLS? No. Power BI Static Row Level Security (RLS) rules cannot dynamically filter data based on username or user principal name. Static RLS uses hard-coded values, while dynamic RLS can reference username or user principal name in DAX expressions. Question number 5. Explain RLS, Row Level Security, and how do you implement RLS? Row level security (RLS) restricts access to data at the row level for users based on their roles. How to implement RLS? Create roles, go to the Modeling tab and select Manage Roles. Define filters. Define a DAX expression that limits the data. For example, you can restrict data based on region. Assign roles. After publishing the report, assign roles to specific users in the Power BI service. Question number 6. How do you disable a graph that is changing dynamically? Go to the Format tab and select Edit Interactions. Click on the visual you want to control and turn off the interactions for the slicer or filter that is affecting it. This ensures the graph is static and not affected by other report elements. Question number 7. Explain the process of publishing a report. Publish the report. Click the Publish button in the Power BI desktop. Select the destination workspace in Power BI service. Manage permissions. After publishing, set permissions to control who can view or edit the report. Question number 8. How to perform join operations? Go to the Home tab in Power Query and click Merge Queries. Choose the two tables you want to join and select the common fields. Question number 9. How to create relationships in Power BI? Go to Model View. Click on the Model icon in Power BI desktop. Drag and drop. Drag a column from one table to a related column in another table to create a relationship. Define relationship. One-to-many, the most common type, where one table has unique values and the other table has duplicates. Question number 10. Is it possible to create drill down and drill up on 3 fact tables? Yes, if the 3 fact tables are connected by common dimensions, you can set up a drill down and drill up by creating hierarchical relationships within the shared dimension tables. Question number 11. If constraints are applied on a table, do primary key and foreign key constraints affect Power BI? No. Primary and foreign key constraints from the source database do not directly affect Power BI. Power BI relies on relationships defined within the data model, independent of source constraints. Question number 12. If we are taking data from a database table with 6k rows and it gets truncated to 1k rows, will Power BI still have the 6k rows? After a data refresh, Power BI will only retain the current 1k rows, as the refresh updates Power BI to match the data source. Question number 13. How will you identify the type of license by looking at a workspace? You can identify the license type by looking at the workspace settings. Workspaces in a Power BI Premium environment will show a diamond icon, while Pro workspaces do not. Alternatively, the Power BI Admin Portal provides details about the licensing. Question number 14. What is the size of a workspace? The size of a workspace varies depending on the Power BI license. Pro users have a maximum of 1 GB per dataset. Premium workspaces support up to 400 GB per dataset and larger storage for the workspace as a whole, depending on the premium SKU. Question number 15. What is unit testing in Power BI? Unit testing in Power BI involves validating individual components, like DAX formulas, transformations in Power Query, and model relationships, to ensure they function. Question number 16. Do you perform report validation? How do you do that? Yes, report validation involves checking the data accuracy, ensuring visual consistency, verifying that filters and RLS are correctly applied, and confirming that data in visuals aligns with the original data source. Question number 17. How do you cross-verify data from the data source to the report? Cross-verifying data typically involves using direct queries to preview raw data in Power BI, comparing data against the source using filters and calculated fields, and possibly creating validation measures or temporary tables. Question number 18. Have you done any automation? Power BI automation is often implemented via Power BI REST API, Power Automate, or PowerShell scripts for tasks like scheduled refreshes, workspace management, and updating RLS dynamically. Question number 19. What is dual mode? Dual mode in Power BI allows a table to operate as both an import and direct query table, depending on how it's used in relationships. This improves performance in composite models by reducing the need to duplicate tables. Question number 20. Does Power BI store historical data, and how? Power BI does not inherently store historical data. It retrieves the most recent data from the data source each time it refreshes. To keep historical data, you can implement incremental refresh or maintain history in the source database. Thanks for watching video and wait for part 2 video for Power BI interview questions and answers.